and often chuckle that chiropractic administrators would happily eat their own young in order to maintain their positions of prestige and profit. In a profession that offers, so all of that was good and accurate. Many years ago, a video was available on YouTube. I think the title of the video was "So You Want to Go to Chiropractic College," something like that, or "So You Want to Be a Chiropractor," maybe. Somebody had done this video. It was a cartoon, and it was absolutely perfect. Even though, of course, many of us didn't want this perspective. It was certainly consistent with our experience. Even though, as everybody in a profession is going to be loyal to that profession because they've worked hard to achieve that degree and that diploma and the licenses and all that kind of stuff. So regardless of how good or bad a profession is, anyone within that profession is instinctively going to be loyal to it just because they've worked hard for it. So again, a video was available, and I wish I could find it. I have looked for it many times. I may have archived it somewhere, but that would have been 20 years ago. Anyway, if you're able to find it, again, it was a cartoon video called "So You Want to Be a Chiropractor," or "So You Want to Go to Chiropractic College." And it also perfectly described or represented everything I just said, represented.
Welcome to my office. I hear that you are considering becoming a chiropractor.
That is right. I find the human body's innate ability to heal itself fascinating.
That is great. Chiropractic is a very rewarding profession, provided that you operate in an ethical manner and take your continuing education credits very seriously. You learn far more after graduating from chiropractic college than you do during school. Do you know what is involved in becoming a chiropractor?
I know that you need a bachelor's degree first, and that chiropractic college is 4 years of intense study of technique, anatomy, neurology, physiology, and radiology.
That is true. The programs are usually well designed, and the material is difficult. You can absorb an amazing amount of knowledge and become a really good doctor if you are self-motivated. However, you'll find that working hard in these classes is a waste of time because they will take all of the D students' grades and round them up to a C at the end of every semester. The administration does not care about quality control. They consistently undermine the efforts of the basic science professors and clinical faculty. It is dangerous and irresponsible on the part of the administration of the schools. You will find that the administrations of chiropractic colleges are hell-bent on destroying their own profession in exchange for short-term monetary gains. The administration does not care about quality control. You will find that the administrations of chiropractic colleges are hell-bent on destroying their own profession in exchange for short-term monetary gains.
In a profession that offers only a very narrow range of opportunities, number one, hardworking private practice clinician. Number two, adjunct faculty member with no benefits or job security. And number three, upper administrator with full benefits, retirement, free international travel, and additional bonuses. Those few chiropractors who acquire an upper administrative position cling to that prestigious and profitable outpost with tenacity and desperation. That was accurate and well stated, if I may say so. One of these chiropractic presidents confided to me that because upper administrators selected the board of trustees, and the board of trustees selects the president, all they had to do was pick the most naive, enthusiastic, passionate, and gullible alumni to join the board of trustees and go along with any and every suggestion offered by the upper administrators, including effectively paying themselves performance bonuses based on the profit of the school, despite the fact that all these schools are tax-protected nonprofit organizations. And in their hands, this ultimately meant siphoning scholarship money away from students to inflate the perceived profitability of the school, and thus fund their so-called performance bonuses. I remember when one of the Board of Trustees member was being informed about the corruption of upper administration, her reply to me was simply that it broke her heart to hear such things, and so to stop her small heart from breaking, she simply refused to listen to disgruntled students and betrayed faculty members. Which is to say, she refused to listen to the exact people who had boots on the ground experience. Of course, she never participated in or initiated any investigation into the obvious wrongdoings, repeated disappearance of hundreds of thousands of dollars, and the mass firings and gaslighting that were ruining the school. Emotional reflexes and administrative protectionism were the guiding lights for her trusteeship, and this is exactly why she had been chosen for the Board of Trustees by the same people who would benefit from her naive and unquestioning loyalty. Nepotism and self-overpayment of administrators are notorious in chiropractic academics. And you can see this. And I invite you to do it. I'm not going to be the one to do this. But I invite you to do this if you're interested in academics or chiropractic or integrity of educational programs. You can go to the websites of any and all chiropractic colleges and take a screenshot before they change it, because I presume that once I launch this ebook, I presume a lot of these schools are going to start trying to cover their tracks. But if you go to these chiropractic college websites, now a lot of them call themselves universities. But if you go to their websites, you can copy or screenshot the administrative roster, so to speak, the hierarchy, and you'll see that the presidents very commonly have hired their wives to be executive assistants. And then you go down to the vice presidents, and again, some of this you won't know unless you know the actual people and their families and all this. But obviously you can look at their last names and you'll see, oh, the last name of the president is the same as the last name of the vice president of academic affairs, or the executive assistant to the president, or the vice president hired his son to be the director of whatever their program is. So you'll see a lot of it. Some of it's public, some of it's not, but most of it is public. And you'll see that in chiropractic colleges that call themselves universities, you've got husbands hiring wives, you've got fathers hiring their sons, and that's called nepotism. And it's, when it's done so brazenly, and at this level of volume, it's illegal, because equal employment requirements are that when a job is available, they have to make it available publicly. They have to take applicants. No way in hell the best applicants happen to be in the president's family so consistently. So that's called nepotism. Nepotism is giving jobs and favors to friends and family, and it's notorious throughout the chiropractic Chiroland world. Nepotism and self-overpayment of administrators are notorious in chiropractic academics. For example, according to the Chronicle of Higher Education, written by Fuller in April of 2012, the compensation packages of presidents at chiropractic colleges consume on average 2% of the college budget. That's 5 times as much as the typical president at a private college with a budget over $50 million. Some chiropractic college presidents earn nearly as much as leaders of research universities that are 10 times, even 90 times their size. The presidents of chiropractic colleges are taking in some of the biggest paychecks in higher education. Many chiropractic college presidents and vice presidents use their schools as welfare states for their families, including sons, daughters, wives, and more distant relatives. For example, quote, and I'll just give some partial quotes here. Wife of the president of a chiropractic college worked as the vice president for student affairs. His daughter was assistant to the president, and the sister-in-law served as assistant to the vice president. Unquote. Again, as I said before, all one has to do is visit the websites of the chiropractic colleges, an easy task for any reporter or staff journalist, to see the names of parents and children among the list of administrators. According to the Chronicle of Higher Education, Stripling 2012 April, the president of this given chiropractic college hired his wife to serve as dean of university programs, and also gave employment to his son, stepdaughter, and daughter-in-law. As would be expected, chiropractic administrators commonly hire friends and family into administrative and teaching positions without conducting the legally required competitive application processes. This undermines quality and destroys the goodwill and respect among those faculty and administrators who actually had to apply and compete for their jobs. If regulators at the state and national levels cared to look, they would find a superabundance of illegal behavior, including underpayment of adjunct faculty, which translates directly into wage theft, which is failure to pay for required duties, tax evasion, because less salary paid means less state and national tax income, and greater profitability. So the upper administrators underpay faculty in order to increase the perceived profitability of the school, because some of them, too many of them, receive performance bonuses based on the profitability of the school. So how do you make the school more profitable? You underpay the faculty, for one, but that's wage theft because it's tax evasion. Well, it's wage theft and tax evasion. The administrative theft doesn't stop just because the president, I just wrote this morning. The administrative theft doesn't stop just because the president formally retires from the office that he occasionally visits. Some chiropractic presidents give themselves golden parachutes and lifetime payouts even after they leave the school, as if a tenure of thievery were not already sufficient, thereby ensuring that future students and faculty will continue paying financial damage for the legacy of corruption. Again, a note of clarification. The two paragraphs above and below cite articles published in the Chronicle of Higher Education, all of them in 2012, specific to nepotism, profiteering, faculty-student abuse at Logan Chiropractic College. I personally have no experience with that institution, but I see the examples provided as being clearly representative of the types of unprofessional shenanigans that plague the profession and permeate throughout chiropractic academia, even at the quote-unquote best, unquote, chiropractic colleges and so-called universities.
You can download this book from Amazon.com for $1. Or you can download the book and video for free along with all updates from healthythinking.substack.com, where you can also learn about vitamin D, dysbiosis and the human microbiome, the antiviral nutrition protocol, functional medicine and more. I'll see you there at healthythinking.substack.com.